Hello, and welcome to the Golden Eagle Martial Arts Virtual Dojo. Today, we're working on Tsuki, or punch. In karate, the punch is the first technique everyone thinks of. We see it demonstrated in pictures and videos. We see it in logos and promotional materials. It makes sense. It's the first hand strike we learn and practice the most. First, let's learn how to make a fist. Holding our hands up, we'll begin by curling in our pinky finger, our ring finger, our middle finger, and then our index finger. Curl them tightly into your palm. Finally, wrap the thumb along the bottom of the fingers. This keeps the thumb out of the way and protected. It's important that we don't put the thumb into the palm and wrap the fingers around the thumb, nor do we want to stick the thumb out to the side or projecting forward. Doing so increases the likelihood of breaking the thumb. When we strike a target with a punch, we're not using the entire face of the fist. The goal is to strike with just the two biggest knuckles. Those two knuckles are about 1 square inch, and we want to concentrate all of our power into the smallest area possible. Also, when the fist is positioned correctly, they are the only knuckles that are supported by the alignment of the body. We can follow the support from the wrist to the elbow, to the shoulder, to the hips, to the knees, to the ankles, and finally to the feet. The bottom row of knuckles have too much give. The top outer 2 knuckles will just move out of the way when striking a hard target. The entire body is used to execute a punch with power. We're going to work backwards to demonstrate this. First, the arms work together. As one arm extends forward to the punch, the other is rechambered. This will incorporate the shoulders and prepares the second hand to execute a second punch. The punching hand begins in the power position. In Shukukai, the power position is high on the torso, with the hand near the armpit. Note that the wrist is flat rather than curled, and the elbow is high, positioning the forearm parallel to the ground. Notice too that the fist is not in the middle of the torso or on the hip. Think of this as a spring being compressed to launch an object. As the punch extends and retracts, the fists are acting like pistons, taking the shortest route to the target. To facilitate this, our elbows will rub our sides rather than curving out from the body. Keeping the elbows close or letting the elbow come out. When the fist is nearing the intended target, we want to refrain from fully extending that elbow joint by keeping a slight bend. This protects the elbow joint from hyperextending and gives the elbow the ability to absorb the resistance of impact. Throughout the movement, we want to keep our shoulders down. Okay? This is up, this is down. Lifting the shoulders may cause the elbows to extend outward from the sides of the body and alter the support alignment of the body. So we want to keep those shoulders down, keep our elbows in. When the punch reaches its target, we want it centered. When practicing our punches, imagine looking at yourself in a mirror and there's a line extending from the tip of the nose through the navel. Every punch should be on that line. Alignment of the wrist is also important, not only for the transfer of power, but for protection as well. We want to be able to lock that wrist. So we need to tilt that fist slightly downward and turn to the outside. This will extend the striking knuckles forward. Finally, when stepping and punching, it should be executed in that order. Step, then punch. We draw our power from the ground and need to initiate from the step. As the stepping foot touches the ground, then the punch can project from the body. Be careful when stepping forward that the punching hand doesn't creep from the power position before we extend our punch. Let's warm up for some punching. We'll start with the fist exercise. Hold the hands in front of you with your fingers fully extended. Starting slowly, curl your hands into a fist and squeeze. Get faster as you work through the exercise. I recommend doing at least 100 repetitions. Starting slowly and getting faster. Next, we'll do arm rotations, forward and backwards. Start with small circles and progress to bigger circles. Doing 10 to 20 repetitions in each direction should be good. And switch directions, starting off small and slowly getting bigger. To help condition ourselves to keep the elbows in, we'll do the wall exercise with one side against the wall while in Zenku Sudachi, forward stance. We'll practice slow punches. Actually, don't need to step for this. Our elbows should be making contact with our body and the wall at the same time. And do 30 to 40 repetitions per side. We also utilize the elastic bands in our training. I have it already set up. Resistance forces you to perform the technique correctly, as well as strengthens our muscles and improves our speed. I have it set up here. I can work on my forward extensions of the arm. Okay? If I try to do this with my elbow going out, this will be much harder to execute. Okay? But by keeping my elbow in, all right, it's much easier. We have three primary targets: Jodan, face, above the shoulders; Chudan, chest or torso, from the shoulders to the waist; Gidan, groin or lower, for targets below the waist. Now we'll practice our punches. Okay. We can do this from a relaxed stance, forward stance, horse stance, any stance that we have. We're going to start with slow punches so we can focus on the mechanics. We'll do 10, but you can do as many as you want. Ish, ni, san, chi, go, rok, sich, hach, ku, ju. And we can try it at all of our target areas. Now we're going to repeat those punches, but execute them at full speed and being sure to use the proper mechanics. We'll do 10 for this exercise, but the more the better. Ish, ni, san, chi, go, rok, sich, hach, ku, ju. It's also beneficial to practice on a target. I will demonstrate with the Makiwara board. This helps condition the fist for actual impact. Okay. I can do this from my relaxed stance, my horse stance, or from my forward stance. Get my distance. Okay. No matter how we practice our punches, we want to remain relaxed and fluid in our movement. Only tighten right before and through impact, then relax again. The relaxed and fluid movement improves our speed, which translates into power. So I want to stay loose as I move through the technique. Okay? And just before I impact is when I'll tighten and then relax again. There are 3 styles of punching while stepping. Oizuke, step and punch with the same side. So in this case, I'll step forward with my right foot and punch with my right hand. Okay. Note that I am stepping first and then punching. Next is Yakuzuki, step and punch with the opposite sides. In this case, I'm going to step with my right and punch with my left. In this case, you should definitely see the hip of the punching side pushing itself forward to help extend the punch and transfer the power into the punch. And next is the Shukokai Yakuzuki, or the lunge punch. In this style, the punch is completed before the step. We initiate the step, lifting our foot up off the ground. When it's about halfway is when we'll fall forward, throwing our punch forward and immediately retracting. After completing the punch, we'll step forward. Okay, the Shukokai lunge punch. When executing these punches for speed and power, we need to retract our punch quickly. This retraction enhances the devastation of the punch. I'll show you first from the front. As I punch, I'm immediately retracting it. Now from the side. I thank you for joining us in the Golden Eagle Martial Arts Virtual Dojo. We'll have a new video coming out next week. If you find our videos helpful, please subscribe to our channel, ring the bell for notifications, like, comment on, and share our videos. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.